Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the vlog channel. Do you want to see something both exciting and overwhelming at the same time? Voila! Exciting and overwhelming. In theory, this table contains everything I need to get the S13 engine together and back up and running. I say in theory because we all know that I'm gonna forget something. Probably multiple things. Head gasket, studs, all sorts of miscellaneous gaskets and seals and who knows what. Fairings, I got motor mounts somewhere, heat shields for those motor mounts. More gaskets, more bearings. We got piston rings in here somewhere. But today, we're actually focusing on this. If we come downstairs to the bottom of the shop, you will notice that everything is a mess, of course. There she is, getting neglected outside. Over the past couple videos, we have gotten to this right here. Engine is out of the car, obviously. I did a pretty decent engine bay clean. Obviously I could do more, but at least you can see like the white paint, whereas before it was just caked in dirt and grease and grime. And just looking in here, there are a couple things that I want to delete and just clean up before we get the engine back in. And then of course, speaking of engines, I got everything back from the machine shop. As you can see, here is the block, and it was very nicely cleaned up. We got the top decked as well, but it's looking a whole lot better. But more importantly, here is the head. And as you will notice, aside from looking brand new because it was deep cleaned, we also have new valves and just about new everything else. If you remember, I think it was 2 videos ago, we completely stripped down the heads. Like, it was my first time actually removing the valves. Got the our old stem seals, and my original plan was to replace the stem seals but then keep the same valves and everything. I brought it to the machine shop, and I've worked with this machine shop before. They helped me with the S14 KA when I did that full refresh. They suggested that I did a valve job on the S14 KA, and I said no, because the car was running and driving fine. It has low-ish compression, but still manageable. And at the time, not that I have much of an idea of what I'm doing now, but at that time, that was my first time ever like getting inside of an engine. I was just like, dude, I'm scared. It worked before, I want it to go back and work again. So that engine, I left stock. I just replaced all the gaskets and everything. When I took this one in, they did the same testing, and they called me and they're like, yo, you're not gonna like this, but this KA needs a valve job. Like, we recommended it on the other KA, this one needs it. These are the valves. There's the stem seals, which I showed you in the disassembly video, and that is my first time ever getting this deep into an engine before. And along with the stem seals, there's also valve guides, which are in the head. I believe they're little like brass cylinders that kind of do what it sounds like the valve stem goes into the valve guide, and the valve guide guides the valve. The guys at Machine Shop said there was an 1/8 inch of play in pretty much all of the valve guides, meaning the valves themselves like had wiggle, which they are not supposed to have wiggle. We got brand new valves, we got new valve guides, we got new stem seals, the valve lash was set at the machine shop. This is pretty much a fully brand new rebuilt head. Looking back, I wish I had that done on the S14 KA, because realistically that engine's getting tired and it's gonna need the exact same thing soon, and I should have done it when I was already there. But it is all part of it. I bit the bullet and got it done on this one. They also resurfaced the timing cover there. So everything in this engine is pretty much new and ready to be mated back together, with the exception of honing the cylinders. They checked everything and said everything was looking great. I thought they're a little dirty right now from sitting out here, but no big scuffs or scratches or anything. Everything looks really good there. I had mentioned to them that I want, like, this is a learning experience for me, and I want to do everything myself to try to, gain some knowledge and just have the experience, I guess. Because the head did need machine work. They did all of the machine work there and reassembled the head at the machine shop. Originally, they had recommended, I think, lapping the valves, which is what it's called, where you get like a lapping you kind of just like grind the valves back into the head so they seat the way that they are. Then they took a closer look at it and said that because the valve guides were so shot that even lapping the valves would just cause more problems because there's too much movement in there. Again, it just needed professional machine work. I don't get to reassemble this. This is all done professionally, but they did say that I can very easily hone my cylinder walls myself, which is what I'm gonna do. They sent me a link to a good bead hone that I think gets here tomorrow, so that'll be a separate video. Sorry, I got super sidetracked on this. Long story short, I want to get the engine bay of the S13 completely prepped and ready so that once we hone the cylinders, we're good to just slap everything back in. Pretty much gotta pull these two cars out, pull the S13 in, and thank God we got the C5 running, so I don't have to push that thing around. It's not like drivable yet, it needs a whole lot, but I can at least drive it, 30 feet out the driveway. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh! It wants it! Darn it. Okay. Starts up great that time. It's probably just the, it's probably the old fuel, honestly. Oh, maybe it's out of fuel. I didn't even think about that being a possibility. Honestly, the S14 was leaking more than the C5. Looks like, what, power steering? Because we know the rack's blown on the C5. And then just little baby oil leaks, but we pinpointed those. That S14 leak is new though, so the adventure never ends on these cars. Oh man, I just realized that I don't know if I can push this out alone, because it's really slanted right there. I was gonna take the car out of gear, but I forgot there's no transmission in it. Alright, at least it's lighter, because there's no engine or transmission in it. Oh yeah, I think I got that. First things first, we know that can go, and I didn't know what that was at first. When I was doing all the quarter panel repair, I noticed that right here under the over it said Super HICAS or something along those lines. I'd never known what that meant, but I guess apparently the Super HICAS models, or however you say it, had like rear wheel steering. Apparently there's supposed to be like a second rack and pinion or something in the rear, but I'm assuming it's been deleted, and I found out that that's what this thing was. That's like the HICAS steering pump thing or something. And those have always been open. Like I'm assuming they deleted that a while ago, but just left the pump or motor or whatever that is on. So that whole thing can just go away. It's junk. I think it's just a couple quick connections. I think that's it. Let me just unbolt it. Why do I always use hand tools for this? Okay, so there is this thing that we no longer need. Freed up some space. Looks like we have a little bit of surface rust there that I might just sandpaper and blast with some primer just cause. At some point, I mean, now would be the time to do it, but I'm just lazy and impatient. Probably should like spray, like repaint the engine bay, but I mean, I think we have bigger things to worry about than that for now. I just want to get this thing up and running so I can crash it into a wall. But now, that big old thing, which I've never had to deal with before because the S14 does not have ABS. Pretty much no help at all for drifting, so we're gonna delete it. And that's where this comes in. GK Tech sells a ABS delete kit, and that's what it is, and I have no idea how to install it. That's why they make YouTube videos, to teach you how to install it. So let's try this. First step is to drain this, which given the fact that we barely had brakes to begin with, I'm assuming this fluid is just done. Time for sucky sucky. Oh yeah. Slurp it up. Now, looks like we pull those out. Oh, those are in there, dude. I don't want to strip them. When in doubt, use the wrong tool. There we go. I think that one cracked loose. Yeah, okay. There's that one. There's two. Okay. And then, I believe under the car, we have to remove that hard line there. And that one actually loosened without having to use the wrong tool. I'm kind of just reaching blindly in here, but it's loosening. Okay. That is free. Now we got the driver side hard line, and then passenger side hard line, and then I gotta watch more of that YouTube video. Okay. Oh, sick. Love that. Pop that out. Okay, we're free. And then it looks like we can disconnect this one, I think, or I hope I should say. Aha, look at that. We got one. So the video's telling me I just have to loosen the actual ABS module and then I can pull it out and just get all the hard lines out with it. I don't know if you can see, but theirs looks a little bit different than mine. And you can see where his fingers are right now. There's just two bolts holding it in, and mine doesn't look like that. On mine, I'm noticing there's one right there, which is obviously easy to get to. But then it looks like there's one under there, and it also looks like there's one under there, which it almost seems like I have to remove the windshield wiper motor. I think that's what that is, right? I think I have to remove like, it looks really hard to get in there. Look at how much more space we have over there. We just deleted all of that stuff. Fishing all the hard lines out was not fun, and getting the actual ABS module out was also not fun. Yeah, got it all out, got the bracket out. That's the HICAS thing. We have two hard lines left. One of them goes to the clutch master cylinder, and the other one, we can actually delete this too, because that goes to this little thing, which is all emissions related, and because this is a track car and we're never taking it on the road, we don't care about emissions. I'm gonna pull this off, and that ends right on that little hose clamp looking thing. I have it deleted on the S14, and that still has to vent, so I just have that open on the S14. But that was before I got the lift, and you can actually delete it even further back all the way to the gas tank. So I might do that, but in the meantime, I am just gonna pull it there, remove that last hard line. We can also remove our air box down here. We don't need this anymore. This is still unmounted, so I gotta mount some stuff, but it's getting there. It's getting a lot cleaner. Goodbye, my friend. Into the pile of things getting deleted. And then we can also pull off this whole bracket, it looks like. Pull that off, because we don't need that. More hard lines deleted. Voila! Much better. No airbox there, no bracket there, no emissions thing. We're down to one hard line, which is for the clutch. ABS is gone. Much happier with that. And now I gotta figure out how to put all that in. Look at what we removed. That's pretty crazy that that's just not in there anymore. Now it's just a matter of getting all the new GK Tech lines ran, and again, I'm just following that YouTube video accordingly and putting it all back together. It said to keep everything hand tight for now, so that is what I'm doing. This one goes to the front port, which is the rear brakes. Again, just hand tight for now, because this has to get ran that way. This guy has to make its way over here. Again, I'm not tightening anything yet. And then drop this one in. This is for the front brakes. We're getting a little creative here. So we have this this T-fitting from the GK Tech kit. And then we have this line that we just brought down. And this T needs to go to that line. And in the video they said there's usually a bracket here, but I don't have that. I just found this bracket from the ABS delete that we just did, and this should work. So I'm thinking we just thread that on there. And then I found a bolt that fits in that T-fitting, like so. That will go there. You put a nut on the other side of it, and that should get it to roughly where it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. That mounts the T-fitting perfectly right there. And now I can start tightening this one. This was actually easier than I thought. So we only have 2 lines left now. And that long line goes from that T-piece that we just installed all the way over to this over here. And the short one goes from the T-piece to the other caliper over there. I went through and tightened everything, so that is tight. Come on down here, and all 3 into the T-fitting have all been tightened. And then coming over here, this one has also been tightened. So the only thing left are the banjo bolts up top. All right, quick sanity check. These are tight. That one down there is tight. The T is tight. Both calipers are tight. Right now I have these just kind of roughly routed up through the top of the firewall there, but they included some clips that I'm gonna self-tap them in with. Check it out. We got those self-tapped up on top of the firewall there, nice and tucked away. Went through and double-checked each connection, and everything is looking really, really good. I'm super happy with that. Pretty sure I can get rid of those connectors now, because those were for the ABS module, and then still have a fair amount of cleanup to do elsewhere. But overall, I am really happy with that ABS delete. I'm out of brake fluid, so I gotta go buy more brake fluid before I bleed the system and everything. But I think in the meantime, I am just going to clean up the shop a little bit and move the car again. I'm demoting the C5 to the outside spot for now, because A, it's been outside for 5 years, I haven't cleaned the interior yet, and B, we are nearing the starting line of getting this thing back together. So I'd rather not keep juggling these, but I can't wait until Halo Lifts comes by and hooks it up with that second lift. Being able to have cars on both sides, that's gonna be like an absolute game changer. I'm so excited for that. Is that a wrap? I think we're done. The S13 is our main priority right now. I think I mentioned that tomorrow is when that bead hone gets here, and then once I hone the cylinder walls and everything, then it's just a matter of completely rebuilding an engine, which I've never done piston rings before, so all of that's gonna be new to me. Not really sure how long all of that is gonna take, but the S13 has priority now. I wanna get this thing done. The homie Julian also hooked it up with some unpainted B-knuckle for the S13, so we're gonna do that and get everything dialed and pretty much ready to drift. That's wishful thinking, assuming the engine works. The S14 just needs a little bit here and there. I do have to figure out where that oil was leaking from. And then I'm just waiting on my homie. Oh, I don't even think I told you guys about this. You guys might remember the good homie Gavin helped me pretty much restore the entire rear end of the S14 after I hit the wall. It looks so unbelievably much better than it did, and most people would be completely fine with this. My brain just obsesses and hyperfixates over everything, realistically, and I don't think that I would care that much, except that now we have the C5 and we also have the S13, both of which are literally designated drift cars. Like, those are the cars that I'm going to drive hard in and just really push myself and my driving abilities. And because these are the two, you know, dedicated drift cars, I don't want to hurt the S14. And I say that lightheartedly because it's an S chassis, and S chassis deserve to be drifted. That's what they were designed for. It was our gift from the Nissan gods to have a perfect drift car. That being said, though, I don't think I'm gonna have this car as like my running doors with people and really pushing myself. This is gonna be like my solo drift car for like big open layouts where I just want to have fun with the car. And I have a homie who is very, very talented at body work, but more so, like, Gavin's really good at fiberglass work, but this homie's really good at like metal work. He works at a legit body shop that has like real frame machines and like all the equipment that you need for that I don't have. You can see, I mean, there's still differences in the panel gaps, and you can see that the whole car is just kind of pushed that way a little bit because that's where the impact was. He's giving me a really good price, like a homie hookup, on getting this thing on the frame machine and essentially just like restoring it. So like all of this stuff, even though it's gonna be covered by the bumper, like he's gonna get this thing realistically looking better than it was when I bought it. Really hard to see on the camera, but there's some just dings and whatnot throughout the entire car. This quarter panel has some warping there, unrelated to what I did. He also mentioned that he can fix my stock trunk, like no problem at all. And then Gavin's gonna be helping me with the fiberglass work on all of the aero, and we're essentially doing a full entire refresh of the S14 and getting that thing looking like the most mint it's ever looked its entire life. And like I said, I'm still going to drive it. It deserves to be driven. That's why I got it. Given the privilege of having two other drift cars, I just want to keep this one clean, or at least do my best to, you know what I mean? Finish the S13, have that as the seat time car, refresh the S14, and just keep this as my cool daily driver and occasional drift car. And then the C5 is kind of on hold because every single cent of money I earn is going to the other two cars. Actually, more than every single cent I earn. I'm down bad. Drifting's a stupid hobby. A lot of work ahead of us, but huge thank you to you guys for continuing to watch and support this channel. We're officially monetized, and obviously the videos don't get many views, but every single cent from this channel goes right back into the cool stuff that we do here. So thank you. That's where I was going with that. I'm pretty sure the next video, we're gonna build an engine, so wish me luck. Catch you guys next video. Peace out.